So in this section right here, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap things up by showing you how we work with our data. I mean, up to this point now, we've looked at how we can install MySQL. We've talked about what a database is and how to actually create and delete databases. We've talked about what tables are and how we put tables and create them inside of databases. And we talked about what fields are and how we create the tables with our fields. And now it's time to actually put some information inside of our tables. Right, Adam?
Yes.
Good, Mr. Adam. So here we are. I'm back inside MySQL. You can see that I have said use BuzzDB, show tables. There's guests. And real quick, let's just do a quick DSERIB.
DSERIB.
Yeah, sometimes, talking and spelling don't work at the same time to me unless I'm talking the spelling of whatever it is I'm trying to type out. So how do we actually put information into our database? Because right now our table. Right now our table is actually empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a command called insert into. Now I need to specify a table. What table am I going to be inserting this data into? So what is that going to be, Adam?
Int.
Buzz test.
Go ahead, Kristen.
Buzz test.
Go ahead, Logan.
Oh wait, no, that was the one you deleted, isn't it?
Please, we're just sleeping.
What'd you name it?
We're inserting information into a table called guests.
For some reason, I was stuck that you were still doing buzz test table.
You guys are over there. You guys are over there laughing about something. I don't know what it is. I just thought I'd bring you back into the conversation. Showing me your legs won't work.
Sorry.
So here everybody is. Now everybody's definitely.
Everybody was like, think it was like Kristen doing it. No, it was me.
Everybody now. Yeah, it was Adam.
Sorry.
It's like, what happened to her voice? So we're inserting into guests. So we need to say insert into guests, and now we need to tell it values. What values are we going to be inserting? And these values need to be in the same order that you have your field. So the first one's going to be auto ID. Now auto ID is a primary key that is auto incremented. Okay, so it's a number that's just going to increment itself every time through. So we don't want to specify anything here. We're just going to tell it I want to put in a null. Okay, so the next thing is going to be first name. So let's pick on Adam. Now, this is a varchar, so I can use some quotes here. I can use single quotes. You want to take a second, Logan, and tell them about that?
That's just because you're entering a char or a string, a
string type
similar to a string.
Okay.
So you have to put quotes around it to specify that it is a string.
Right, because, if we hit a comma, then it's going to be like, whoa, that's the next piece of information. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you could put, inside the quotes, you could put a comma, and it'll then put that in as a char in your database. If you just had a comma laying out, it thinks, okay, now time to go to the next value.
Okay.
So whatever's inside the quotes gets put inside, like, the name. So if I said, quote, Adam, comma, question mark, 5, end quote, my name would be Adam, comma, question mark, 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, do I have to use double quotes like I'm using there?
No, you could use single quotes.
And go ahead and tell our viewers out there why you like to use single quotes.
Okay, because once we get into actually running these type of, like, adding data through a PHP script, when you're adding this using PHP, you might you're going to set up a string in the first place for this entire line that you're adding, and you're going to put that inside quotes because that's a string type. And you might want to use the single quotes because you could put those inside a string. Like in this string here, you started this with double quotes, right? Inside there, you could put one or many single quotes, and it would ignore those. It would just put them in as part of the name.
Gotcha.
So it can be handy to interchange those out. Like if you have this entire line in a string with single quotes, you could use the double quotes in here, or vice versa.
Very cool. I just thought it'd be nice to have you share that with them. So this right now, Noel is for auto ID. Adam is going into first name.
M.
Spell your last name for me.
MCG.
MCG.
UIRE.
RREY, because we don't really want to let anybody know who you actually are. Right, mister? Here's my full name, telephone number, and I just set you up. That's all it is.
Okay.
I had to get you at least once tonight.
Adam McGuire.
So Adam McGuire is now in there. Okay. And, oh, dear, I accidentally hit enter. Have I heard anything, Logan?
Dear.
Not yet, because this is where the Terminator becomes really important.
That's right.
What if you have, if you're working, say, with a table that's even bigger than this, and you have a whole long line of values you have to enter, and it's starting to get confusing because it wraps multiple times. If you haven't yet used a Terminator and hit enter, it'll just let you continue typing on the next line. This will allow you to better organize what you're trying to put in the database.
Absolutely.
And
so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it won't actually, because like before we were hitting enter and it was like running these queries and doing what we were typing. In this case, it won't do this insert until it hits a Terminator. So we can go and type as many lines as we want and then put a Terminator when we're done.
So I could simply come in here now and say, comma, Adam, you're what? You're 46?
Yeah.
46, right?
Right.
And if I wanted to, I could hit enter again, and I could say, comma, quotes, loves 3D Buzz. Well, you do, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, otherwise I was just going to have to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be good.
A bad thing.
So basically now, keep in mind, this 46 right here is going into age. Loves 3D Buzz is going into comments. And let's go ahead and come down here, and what do we want to put here, Logan?
We want to put the date.
And do we want to do anything special with it?
You do want to put it in quotes.
Okie dokie. So, give it to me. How do we want to throw it in there?
Now, the way this formats is a 4-digit year. So
Okay.
go ahead and type in the year.
So it's really 1970.
And a dash, a hyphen.
Okay.
And then the month.
And the month.
In numeric 2-digit format.
So it's March.
And one more hyphen. And the day.
And we have my birthday.
In 2-digit format.
Okay, in a 2-digit format.
You don't have to do... Oh, okay, I was going to say.
Okay, so there we are with year, month, day. And now all we need is a Terminator?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
no. We actually need a closing little guy up here, don't we?
Parenthesis.
All right, so let's take a look at what we've got going on right here. I guess we'll go ahead and finish it off real quick. So we'll finish that, and before hitting enter, we've got insert into, and then our table name, which is guests. Values, this is another word, this is another part of the command that you have to use. And then inside parentheses, we've got an open parentheses there and an ending parentheses at the very end. Then we simply have the data laid out the exact way that it's specified inside our actual table. So we've got null for auto ID, Adam for first name, McGuire for last name, 46 for age, loves 3D Buzz for comments, and our date for date entered, and then